What? Only whatever. Get your claws out of my back. Ow, that's hurting. I've gotta feed these cats soon, or they'll scratch my stuff. I will be right back. Close this door a little bit. Let me close this door. Let me get this lighting, this ambiance. Let me make this look good. Well, hello everybody, and welcome back to the channel. If you couldn't tell by the song I was singing, that was Simple and Clean from the lovely, lovely video game series Kingdom Hearts. A franchise that up until very recently I had never played. Well, that's kind of bullshit. I played it one time when I was a kid. It came out in, like, what, 2001, 2002, something like that, when I was probably, like, not good at math. I gotta do math. 7. And, you know, it's a franchise that has grown so big and has so many different characters and side games and main titles, and it's just a franchise that, to me, as a gamer, as somebody who only really had a handful of consoles, a handful of systems, it's not something that I actively wanted to pursue, say, playing, you know, this game on the Game Boy or this on a PSP, just like shit I didn't have. But it is helpful to have somebody in my life who loves Kingdom Hearts and actively wants me to be a part of that world. And, you know, and having a fiance that loves Kingdom. Oh yeah, that's right. I'm engaged. I'm getting married. I didn't tell you guys that. Yeah, I was in North Carolina a few months ago, and I wasn't in North Carolina to get engaged. I was in North Carolina to go to a concert. This concert. This is all, like, really cool stuff. But while we were down there, I proposed. Big love, there was much rejoicing, and I am engaged now. Somebody wants to marry me. But it is my fiance's favorite franchise of all time. This is their whole thing. And, you know, they were telling me, they were like, I won't ever marry somebody who doesn't enjoy Kingdom Hearts.
Well, there's the answer.
I figured, you know what? If I'm going to play Kingdom Hearts, I'm going to play all of Kingdom Hearts. And so I did. Well, I say I played all of Kingdom Hearts. I played this, and this. I don't have any real notes for this. I mostly have talking points for this, for each game, and just sort of my overall thoughts, and just, you know, I don't know, just I'm talking about Kingdom Hearts. Hopefully I'll be able to shoot all of this in one afternoon. It depends on how long my thoughts go on for, and I am known to ramble. So if there's an inexplicable wardrobe change at some point in the middle of this video, no, there isn't. Gameplay is like shit. That is the first impression that I had when I booted up Kingdom Hearts 1. Granted, it is an action RPG that came out in 2001. Not a lot of things happened that year. But it is a brick of a game to play through. It is clunky and not intuitive, and I think I was spoiled by games like this that were going back to play a game like this. It is just a slog. I think the story is cool. I'll give it that. I think the story of the first Kingdom Hearts game. Hi, Lily. One of my cats is in here. I think the story of Kingdom Hearts 1 is really cool. I like the world that they're setting up. I do like the incorporation of the Disney worlds in this overall plot. I think the integration of Disney into Square Enix worlds and Final Fantasy mixed with this weird story where you're playing as a child soldier. He was conscripted as a 15-year-old boy to be a soldier in a war against the Heartless. This is the definition of a child soldier. The Keyblade is a cool weapon, though, so I guess I'll go do some more crimes. I do think it is quite funny that the big three characters that we kind of follow in this game's names are Sora, Riku, and Kairi, which translates to air, land, and sea. I think that is fun. It is a thing that I enjoy. What I don't enjoy are the boss fights that are, let me get close here, needlessly difficult. They gave this game to children. They gave this game to children in 2001 where nothing else happened in that year. I'm a 33-year-old man. I'm grown. I shouldn't be mad at a hard boss fight. I'm grown. But I fought a boat. I fought a boat 18 times, it feels like. I fought a boat 50 times, man. One thing I did love about the game, besides like the overall plot and just sort of like the characterization of things, were how characters interacted with each other. I found that fascinating. Goofy is talking to Leon, Squall, excuse me, in like clouds there in the Hercules world, and it's just like how that all comes together. It shouldn't work and it shouldn't be fun, but it kicks ass. Also, Mickey Mouse is at the end of this game and he's got no shirt on. Don't like that. I didn't play this one. I'm not going to play Chain of Memories. I took one look at the gameplay for Chain of Memories, and I went, no. I'm not playing a card game in a castle where I lose my memories. I'm not doing that. I'm not building a deck out of cards. I'm not doing that. I didn't like doing it in this. I'm sure as shit not gonna like doing it in this. What I did do is I watched the cutscene movie, which I'm glad I watched because like the story of that is pretty cool. I think that Naminé is a character who just deserves so much and is being used by this handsome bastard and this fucking, ooh, I'm about to, I hate Larxene. You don't need to be in part of Organization 13. You need to see a hairdresser. Organization 13, I think, as a concept, is incredibly stupid. It's very, very confusing to throw that at you coming off of Kingdom Hearts 1, where that's not even really a thing. And then now you've got like these 13 nobodies, which I think the nobodies are a fascinating concept that like 358/2 expands on really well. I think the concept of a nobody is cool. I just wish that like they tried to explain that more in Chain of Memories. It does give you Axel for the very first time, and Axel is like right here. Axel's my heart, bro. I had to feed myself. I had to take a little break. I had to feed myself. So 358/2 wasn't the full game. It was a cutscene movie where like Chain of Memories, I had to like look it up on YouTube. My partner and I watched it because I wasn't playing that at all. 358/2 was in the bundle I was playing, just the cutscene movie, which is partially upsetting because that one looked the coolest to me. I will say that the big three in this game, Roxas, Axel, and Xion, are fantastic characters. I specifically love Xion. I think her character arc, where it starts and where it ends, if you're not crying at the end of that, you're heartless. This is the game where they definitely expand on Organization 13 and nobodies. And I think the introduction of the nobody to me is so fantastic because like it makes sense. It makes sense. If your heart is being released, if you are becoming a heartless, if there is this version of you with no heart, the shell, the body remains, and it's like, what does the body become? A nobody. Oh, I have a zit on my eyebrow. Oh, I slapped it. I think the story overall between the dynamic of these three characters, specifically with like Roxas, who being Sora's nobody but not looking like him, is fascinating, and where he falls into all of this. I think Organization 13 has been fleshed out really, really well in this. They're still very confusing. I do love like Xigbar and Vexen. I think these characters are great, and they've all kind of got like their own motivations, and especially a guy like Xigbar and a guy like Zaldin. I think they're really cool. I think they're very cool characters, and that's really what 3 Fight Over 2 is about. I think it's about character. We're getting enough story to push the overarching narrative forward, but this is a character-driven story. And I think that's probably why they put it in the bundle as a movie, because it's like, if you just watch this by itself with very minimal Kingdom Hearts knowledge, you'll probably still pick something up from it. The emotional beats will hit regardless of how much or how little info about Kingdom Hearts you have. That's probably my takeaway from that. I would much rather have played that than Chain of Memories, which I didn't play and I never will. The second I booted up Kingdom Hearts 2, full disclosure, right away, I hated how Kingdom Hearts 1 played. Despised it. Clunky brick, right? Whatever. Kingdom Hearts 2, that is, and it might be, the single greatest action RPG the PlayStation 2 has ever received. That thing's smooth as eggs, baby. It is clean. That gameplay is too nice. Where the first one kind of had to lean heavier into the Disney stuff because it was the first game. You kind of wanted that balance. But in 2, they were leaning so much harder into everything Final Fantasy related. I got to see my boy. I got to see my guy. I got to see my goat. It's my favorite. Auron is my favorite Final Fantasy character of all time. And I was like, the second he was on screen, I popped. Like he just walked out at like all or nothing. I think I squealed. I might have screeched. I'd have to ask Kat. And the game had a lot of cool hype moments too, especially like the Thousand Heartless fight. I thought the Thousand Heartless fight was an exceptional bit of storytelling, especially the gauntlet, I think either before or after, where you're fighting alongside some of your compatriots like in Radiant Garden. I thought that moment was cool. Thousand Heartless fight was awesome. I do love that Mickey goes on a killing spree. Like, there's a part in that game where, like, spoiler alert for a game that came out in, like, 2005, but, like Goofy dies. Goofy dies. And the first thing Mickey does is, like, rip off his fucking shirt and go, like, "You're gonna pay for that. Somebody get the strap. I'm putting you on a t-shirt. Haha." Felt really weird. It was awesome, though. I also got to go to Tron World. Love Tron. Tron World was probably my favorite thing besides, like, I don't know, Mickey with the blicky. But it was awesome. And then, like, obviously, you know, you can't talk about, like, hype moments in Kingdom Hearts 2 without talking about, like, this whole thing with, like, Xemnas shooting, like, the bajillion lasers at you. I thought that was really cool. Speaking of Xemnas, great villain. I thought Xemnas is a better villain than Ansem. Just the idea of, like, the leader of this evil organization being the hottest man alive. I also think that Xemnas is a better villain than Ansem because the boss fight was easier. All the good writing in the world can't save you now, Xemnas. I didn't have to fight a boat 55 times. I fought a castle once. One time. I think the castle also turned into a dragon at one point. That's just really cool. I don't know. It was a dragon castle. I didn't have to fight it 67 times. It was really fun. And I think the overall story in Kingdom Hearts 2 is really well written. Kind of living out Roxas's final week before he has to get reintegrated into Sora is heartbreaking. You are living out the worst week of that child's life. Just a shit way to end summer vacation, man. It's crazy because I know there's like 15 more fucking games after Kingdom Hearts 2. Run that through your head. But it feels like, given how this game ends and the way the curtain draws on that last cutscene in the game, it feels like if they wanted to, Kingdom Hearts as a franchise could have simply ended there. I think there is enough closure overall where you could have put a pin in that. They obviously didn't, because we're gonna, talk about this next game. But I think Kingdom Hearts 2 is sort of like the highest of heights in terms of gameplay, characterizations, and storytelling. It is really difficult to beat that. Ha!
Inexplicable wardrobe change. Ha!
Yeah, I wanted to get it all done in one shot. Couldn't, so didn't. I was gonna put a hat on because... But... who gives a shit? Birth by Sleep might be one of my favorite video game experiences I've, ever had. What an incredible idea for a prequel. I think that the main cast are just, the most lovable bunch of idiots. Mark Hamill's in this game. Pretty sure Xehanort is, which terrible name, is voiced by Leonard Nimoy. I really do think that Terra, Ventus, and Aqua... Oh, Aqua. Oh, justice for Aqua. We can talk about that in a minute. I do think that they're storylines that branch and converge and branch out again, and kind of where everybody ends up, where they land, is and how it directly kind of ties into the events of the main story. Like a lot of good things that have prequels, I still think that you could have kind of still have done Birth by Sleep, but left the Kingdom Hearts 2 ending as sort of and called it a day. Open ending stuff notwithstanding, I feel like you still could have put a pin in it and called it a day. Aqua. Justice for Aqua. Justice for my girl. Justice for my queen, my monarch, my regent of the area. Aqua is the best. Easily the most competent person in the franchise. The entire Birth by Sleep experience is just Aqua being can you not fuck everything up? I'm trying to do Keyblade Master shit. And then Terra and Ventus just go, no. And Aqua has to clean up their mess the entire game. It doesn't help that Ventus's heart isn't really his own heart anymore, and Terra gets possessed by a
bald pedophile.
I don't know why Xehanort wants to be inside of these young boys. Don't like that. It also has one of the hardest boss fights ever. It's not the fucking boat that I had to fight 87 times, but it was still annoying. It was this boss fight, this one right here. I hated. Great fucking game, though. Would play again. Great fucking game. Recoded was awful. This game, the fundamental... Digital Sora is going through digital memories of a digital time. That's basically the first game. And there's digital nominee. This whole game, it's a 3-hour cutscene movie. And only the last 30 minutes are relevant. This game could have been an email. And Digital Sora is the fucking worst version of Sora. Yeah, Sora as a character is very you can't do this thing, and he goes, yes I can, or this person doesn't have a heart, and Sora goes, that's not true. As Digital Sora, you're in a fake world, and people are going, we're gonna delete this digital world, you're not gonna remember us, and he goes, yeah I will. No, you won't. No, you won't. Dream Drop Distance has it's an incredible experience. Dream Drop Distance, I love the drop mechanic. I never want to see it again. And I hate the Spirit Dream Nightmare Party mechanic. Love those little bastards. It was really fun. It was just a really fun game to play. There was nothing I hated really about it besides the forced switching of characters. Even though you're playing as my two boys, the best boys. This game to me is Riku's redemption arc. The game is mostly about him in the Mark of Mastery exam, and either Sora or Riku are going to become a Keyblade Master in a legitimate way. And you run into this thing of everything Riku did felt really weird in comparison to Sora. It's almost like one of them wasn't really doing the thing. And it turns out to be true. A classic Kingdom Hearts fashion, Sora goes to do something, immediately biffs it, and ends up in the sleeping world, and Riku spends the entire game fixing that problem. It's his redemption. I think he deserves, he gets the Mark of Mastery, he ends up being a Keyblade Master while Sora does not, and I think that's great. I think Riku as a character, full circle from this to now, is warranted and deserved, and he earned that. I love a redemption arc, just in general, when it's warranted. Not every character deserves redemption, but I think Riku does, and I think it's a good full circle moment for him. It's Riku's game. That it kicks ass. I wish this game was 40 hours long. Of Aqua, justice for Aqua again, playing as her. This is like a tech demo for Kingdom Hearts 3, which is like fine. But I wish I wish this game was longer. Playing as Aqua, a decade into her journey into the Dark Realm is awesome, and I think as a character she is so cool, and I'm glad that we got more of her. I'm also glad that we got to fight with Mickey alongside Mickey, and just him kind of bumbling his way into the Realm of Darkness just to sort of like find Aqua. It's like a prequel, sequel, and it's very, very fun. And it also famously fills one of the more glaring plot holes in Kingdom Hearts, which is mouse nudity. Not quite sure why Mickey was shirtless at the end of Kingdom Hearts 1 when he hasn't been shirtless in anything else. Yeah, fuck it. He got blown away by a pillar of Heartless, and the king has no clothes. Don't know why he's naked. Doesn't need to be naked. Didn't need to be naked in Kingdom Hearts 1. Is funny that they even decided to wrap that up. I had to change perspective a little bit. We have Christmas stuff behind us. And, yeah, if I fall down, no, I died talking about Kingdom Hearts. Back cover. Back cover is interesting in that didn't need it for any reason, but it was really fucking cool. This was an hour long. I wish this was a 3-hour movie. I guess it's telling the story, or it's like telling a part of the story from Union Cross, Kingdom Cross. I don't know what this is. It's a mobile game. I know that. One of my coworkers played it for a really long time. It looks like this. That's the depth of my knowledge of back cover or whatever. The naming conventions in this franchise. But the story is awesome. It is like this prequel to a prequel to a prequel. It's hundreds of years, I imagine, in the past before anything goes wrong, and it's just sort of telling the story of the origin of the Keyblade War. This mythical Keyblade War that you've heard about for 17 games now. I think it's fascinating. I think all of the characters are really cool. I think all the faction leaders are really well written and put together, and I think this guy is just a demon. I think this guy is a demon. I don't know his motivations. I like him. He's a little too Deadpool for me, but that's probably hiding, obviously. Classic, sarcastic, goofy villain archetype. Underneath that, he is probably he's probably just a
real demon.
And he gave every one of his little proteges, the faction leaders, roles to play. About this Book of Prophecies, it's a whole thing. They've all got roles to play. And I think each role is sort of counterintuitive to that person's personality type. For example, he names his successor, this guy, the most paranoid guy. He makes the most paranoid guy in the group the leader of this whole thing after he's gone. He makes this guy, the other guy, second in command. This is a guy who was just plagued with jealousy. What happens when a runner-up, gets jealous? Shit like this happens. I love the idea that there's just one guy who kind of orchestrated this great war, just to kind of see what would happen at the end of it, which is what, I can't remember his name, Lushu, this fucking guy, that gives you nothing right now. He just, his role was just to survive, just get out of here, just don't be a part of this whole thing. And I think that's really cool. I think that's when the storytelling gets good, because Kingdom Hearts has like goofy shit, top to bottom, left and right. But then when you get to stuff like that, you're like, oh, that should be the story. Do more of that stuff. Like, the potential. So now we're on to bigger and better and final things. With Kingdom Hearts 3, we finally made it to the end. I spent months, damn near half a year playing Kingdom Hearts. It's all I played. I took one break for Expedition 33, Game of the Year. Whee! The world of Kingdom Hearts 3, hands down, this is my favorite one. The gameplay was awesome. The combat was perfect. All the little action commands, awesome, besides the attractions. And every storyline that I have experienced from 1 to now in 3 comes together in such a beautiful way. Every arc comes to a close. Every character gets conclusion. It all is perfect. The overall story of Kingdom Hearts 3 is awesome if you have the full context of what I just experienced. If you just go from 1 to 2 to 3, you have no idea. I had the luxury of just gunning it. The game has like hype moments like you wouldn't believe. Like again, leaning into serious Final Fantasy stuff. There was stuff in Kingdom Hearts 3 that I was like, oh, they did in like Final Fantasy 16. Like they did these crazy over the top hype moments that were like a current era Final Fantasy game. It ruled. It whipped ass. It was so sick. I clocked right away that Skaled Kylum, one of the locations at the end of the game, looked very Dutch. A lot of windmills. That kind of confused me until I realized that they recast Xehanort, I imagine because Leonard Nimoy died, with Rutger Hauer. This guy, love Rutger Hauer, one of my favorite actors of all time. Clocked it immediately. I was like, why does he sound like Rutger Hauer? Why is Skaled Kylum Dutch? I was like, this is great. That was lovely. At the end of Kingdom Hearts 3, they give you a literal boss gauntlet. It's a labyrinth of boss fights, and each one has a cutscene. It tripped me up. I was like, oh, they literally gave me a boss gauntlet. I would do that 1,000,000 times before I fight a boat 75 more times. Like I said, every character kind of got their moment or their comeuppance if they're evil, except Kairi. Kairi fucking sucked the entire time. All Kairi did in Kingdom Hearts 3 was get a cunty bob and die. That pissed me off, except when you play Remind, which was the DLC, which I did play. Remind was great because it recontextualized. Did 5 takes before I got that word right. And it added more, it added more hype moments. You got this that happened, which was really cool. And then this, which I cried during. This part. Don't know why. It just felt big. Again, hype moment. And then Kairi had a moment. I played as Kairi in that final fight. Man, did I play as Kairi. OP, glass cannon. Took 2 hits I had to heal. But that girl has an arm on her. Her ass should be playing for the Yankees. Wouldn't be a video without one. Oh, the second part of Remind filtered me immediately. The game was really easy, and I guess Tetsuya Nomura was like, hey, get fucked. I know what happens after. I know about this part. Don't really care. All I need to really know is that Sora woke up in Shibuya. Woke up in some sort of real world thing. Fine. I initially only wanted to play through Kingdom Hearts in general for my fiance. I love them very much, and I took this journey so I could experience something that my partner loves in their core being. And I thought that I was gonna hate it immediately. I immediately thought that it was over. I was like, man, I can't get married, don't like Kingdom Hearts. But it kicked ass. I would play any of these games again besides the final like hour of 1. It's the boat. The boat. I walked away from the experience so full, if that makes any sense. I felt so full. It was so good. Like the whole story of Kingdom Hearts is very confusing, and I really don't think I know what actually happened. But man, while it was happening, what an experience. I would take that ride anytime. I don't think that there will ever be a franchise like Kingdom Hearts ever again. I don't think there can be. It's so one of one in its presentation and its required reading in terms of every game on any platform is important to the overall story that you're getting. Like, it's singular. There will never be anything that feels that this way or elicits these emotions in the way that it has. I love it. I love Kingdom Hearts. 6 months ago, would have laughed in your face. Now, Kingdom Hearts is light. Kingdom Hearts is light. Fuck you. Fight me. You won't because friends, my friends are my power. You've got nothing. The forces of darkness. You can't get here. You could never get to where I am right now. I'm full of just friendship is magic. They wish they could get like me, Lillian. You cannot. I'm too powerful. It's great. Now we got to do is wait for 4. When that comes out, when I'm 56. And who knows what that's going to be like. I know there's another game in the storyline. I guess it's a rhythm game. I'm not playing that. I'm telling you right now. Again, I took one look at it. Not doing that. I will watch the cutscene movie when the next bundle comes out 4 games from now. Before Kingdom Hearts 4 comes out, which will really be Kingdom Hearts 23. Which is the amount of times I fought that boat. Good night. Damn boat.